So like,
no, two-time unified heavyweight champion. So far, so good.
oh, with boxing, yeah, 100%. But what I'm saying now is, there's another level of fitness.
You guys wanted me to go bigger? How about twice as big?
Rick put out some classics. Put out some singles.
If Anthony Joshua was to do what he done to Ngannou to Jake Paul, that's like life-changing injury.
Anthony Joshua has left fans speechless with a jaw-dropping new physique that looks built for pure dominance. Leaner, more defined, and noticeably more explosive, AJ's physical transformation has become a major headline in the boxing community, sparking huge reactions online and sending a cold warning straight toward Jake Paul. From his rock-solid shoulders to a renewed, power-packed stance that reminds many of his prime championship years, Joshua's upgraded frame isn't just for show, it's a statement.
The only way we're gonna win a 12-round fight is if you push yourself in the gym. So, yeah, that's what I like about the world-class boxing gym.
Everyone says they want to be a world champ, but people are not willing to do what it takes to become a world champ. And even in this gym, it's like you put through the test, because I mean, it's one thing to say you want to hang out with champs and hang out with other fighters, another thing to be able to endure the workout and endure the work, so it's a big thing. He's been pushing himself. He's asking me, what can I do more? How can I be better? How can I build my fitness more? And that's really a sign of a great individual and a great champion.
Joshua made it clear that his size and strength aren't the result of any sudden transformation. According to him, it's simply his natural build. All he does is put in the hard work to unlock it. He explained that when his natural power is fully activated through training, it becomes a serious threat to anyone who faces him in the ring. And with Jake Paul as his next opponent, Joshua emphasized that he isn't packing on muscle just to look impressive. He's tapping into what's already in his DNA. And once those punches start landing, that could mean real trouble for Jake.
A lot of road work. So even though I'm big, this is just genetics.
Right, definitely, yeah.
It's not like I spend hours in the gym like lifting. You can't run 10 miles and only spar 4 rounds. You have to run 4 miles and spar 10 rounds. Yeah, like what I'm trying to say is gym work's important with your coach. All this stuff is just the core stuff. This stuff is just the extra add-ons that you're gonna get. But you have to have good technique. You have to have a good understanding of boxing. Like, that's your muscle, your brain. That's what a coach is gonna train you mostly. Like, he wants to train this. And if you've got that at its strongest, yeah, I feel like you'll be good.
Yeah, and so far, so good.
Jake Paul hasn't shied away from the huge size gap between him and Anthony Joshua. In fact, he's using it as motivation. Paul admitted that people have always told him to fight someone closer to his own weight. So he decided to flip the script by choosing an opponent nearly twice his size. He's presenting this matchup as the ultimate test, a statement that he isn't scared of danger, doubters, or the pressure of stepping in with a heavyweight powerhouse like Joshua. According to Jake, if the world wants proof of his legitimacy, then taking on a giant is the perfect way to deliver it. Still, even with all his confidence, the massive physical difference brings a level of risk that even Paul can't completely dismiss.
Wanted me to go bigger? How about twice as big? Literally, he's twice as big as Gervonta. He's 6'6", 260 pounds with an 82-inch reach. I mean, just look at us next to each other. Two-time heavyweight champion of the world, an Olympic gold medalist. While he was winning Olympic gold, I was filming Vines in high school.
What'd you say?
AJ is a knockout artist with fights that have literally ended in seconds. He's fought legends, Klitschko, Usyk, Ruiz, Ngannou.
The tale of the tape for Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul reveals a physical mismatch that could play a huge role in how this fight unfolds. Joshua stands at 6 feet 6 inches with an 82-inch reach and a true heavyweight build, usually weighing well over 240 pounds. Jake Paul, at 6 feet 1 inch with a 76-inch reach and roughly 200 pounds, is giving up major advantages in height, reach, weight, and raw power. Joshua's longer reach allows him to dictate distance, making it far tougher for Jake to close in without taking clean shots. The weight gap means AJ's punches naturally carry far more force, while Paul will need to depend on speed, footwork, and perfect timing to survive exchanges. If Joshua uses his size and strength wisely, this fight could become a physically overwhelming challenge for Jake.
Got 28 years old compared to 36 years old. So I guess the advantage there goes a little bit towards Jake Paul. 28-year-old is better than a 36-year-old. But that being said, we've got talking about experience and everything else, what comes with being 36 years old at Anthony Joshua's level. And then, like I mentioned, the heavyweights kind of seem to prime a little bit older. Now, come down to the height and the weight. This is the big one. 6'1" versus 6'6". 200 pound versus 252 pound. We got a 252 pounder in Anthony Joshua. The reach advantage is a lot, which we would expect. Amateur fights, we can see that Jake's only had one, where AJ's had 43, but 43 of them are including at the highest level, Olympic level. And yes, he won the Olympic bloody gold medal, if I don't need to remind you. Then the pro record, Jake Paul has had 13 fights, lost 1. AJ has had 28 fights and he's lost 4 with 25 KOs. And the one person that Jake Paul lost to was Tommy Fury. Now, can we compare Tommy Fury with Anthony?
Matchroom Boxing CEO Frank Smith has taken a careful and realistic approach when discussing the possibility of Anthony Joshua facing Jake Paul. While he hasn't dismissed the idea entirely, Smith explained on the Ariel Helwani show that Joshua's next fight is likely, but not against Jake Paul anytime soon. He pointed out the massive gap in experience and pedigree, noting that Paul's rise is very different from the level of competition Joshua has faced throughout his career. Smith also confirmed that early conversations about a potential Paul matchup are ongoing for 2026, showing that Matchroom is open to the hype, but he remains grounded about the unpredictable nature of the boxing business.
And like Tyson fought Ngannou the first time, he was like, this isn't my cup of tea, and then obviously he ended up fighting Ngannou, and so I didn't know if this was a bridge too far for him.
No, I think for AJ it was just, look, he's done everything in the sport. He's been, like I say, he's a 2-time unified champion. He's fought the best, the elite fighters in, Alexander Usyk twice, and for him it's just, right, I want to do things that interested me, motivate me, and obviously if you can go and do that for a load of money against someone, fair play. I think me and Jake Paul might be more competitive than Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua.
Oh my dear.
I actually want to make as the comeback fight for Jake Paul, Eddie Hearn, Jake Paul.
Wow.
Yeah. Don't you think that would be big? As the comeback fight.
Yeah, like meaning after he loses this one.
For Jake's comeback fight.
You think Eddie would be down?
For money.
Could you imagine?
I know. I'd happily negotiate with.
Tony Bellew has expressed major skepticism about the Joshua versus Paul matchup ever becoming a reality. He believes the fight is an enormous mismatch, stressing that Joshua's size, power, and experience are so overwhelming that Jake Paul would be putting himself in real danger. Bellew also sees the potential bout as a money-driven spectacle, warning that Paul may be risking his health purely for a payday. While Bellew doesn't think the fight would damage Joshua's legacy, he insists that if it does happen, Joshua would dictate every second of it. To him, the entire scenario feels more like entertainment than a legitimate sporting contest.
I don't believe a single thing until literally I see them in a ring together. He was supposed to fight Gervonta Davis, wasn't he? Who's 5 stone lighter and is 5 stone lighter and 8 inches shorter. So I don't believe anything. Until they're in a ring together, I don't believe nothing.
Obviously, AJ was meant to fight in an 8-rounder. I think Eddie said to me earlier against
an 8-rounder.
Yeah, okay. Against a top 120 opponent on BoxRec that none of us would have heard of. Okay. Just a kind of confidence, go and get a knockout type victory. I suppose you can go and do that against Jake Paul and earn an absolute fortune from
Listen, I've said before and I'll say it again. Boxing is a brutal, brutal business. Go and make as much as you can, as quick as you can. Once you've achieved your dream and goals of becoming a world champion, there's nothing left to do besides make money. What are you chasing? You've won all the belts. I think he's missing a WBC. I think that's about it. Go and get the belts and that's it. Move on.
Do you believe it should be sanctioned?
What I believe doesn't matter.
No, but I'm just curious.
What I believe doesn't matter because some governing body will.
Of course.
Or some sanctioning body will.
Of course.
Some
the Florida State
organisation. Yeah, absolute maniacs. But that's another argument. That's another cause. It's like the one I heard Chris Eubank Sr. talking about on the radio the other day. He's talking about safety of fighters. Champ, you were the worst for it. You went up to cruiserweight when you were super middleweight and didn't do it once but twice. And then you're saying people should have saved you from yourself. No, that's why we're fighters. So
boxing. We know what we sign up for.
According to many analysts, anything short of an early knockout could be embarrassing for Anthony Joshua. With most experts viewing the matchup as a huge mismatch, the expectation is that Joshua should dominate quickly. If he fails to finish Jake Paul within the opening minutes, some believe it could raise doubts and potentially dent his reputation as a former heavyweight champion.
Well, here's some proper talk then. If Anthony Joshua doesn't knock out Jake Paul within 6 minutes, it's embarrassing, not only for him, but also for the sport of boxing. And if he does knock him out within 6 minutes, because it's a proper fight, boxing better pray that there's no lasting damage to Jake Paul. The phrase, fuck around and find out, springs to mind. This is not a game. You don't play boxing. Especially not with a 2-time unified heavyweight world champion in his athletic prime. If you're gonna deal with clowns...
As Johnny Nelson points out, Anthony Joshua is in a no-win scenario. If Jake Paul manages to last the full fight, it could spark serious questions about Joshua's form and commitment. Critics argue that a seasoned heavyweight like Joshua should dispatch Paul quickly, and anything drawn out or competitive would challenge the idea that this bout is purely a payday rather than a true test of skill.
I do believe it because AJ's involved, and I think AJ'd struggle to he's going to take enough flack over this, but again, it's money talk. So I think AJ will struggle because it's an all-win situation. If he goes in there, Jake Paul lasted the distance. What does he tell you about AJ? Apart from he's just earned an extra 15 million quid. If he goes there and struggles with Jake Paul, then what does he say about AJ? Your heydays are well and truly over. If he goes in there and knocks him out, then I'll say that's to be expected. So the glory, there's probably not much glory in it, apart from the haters of Jake Paul to say, right, I've got rid of this kid. I think it's very brave of Jake Paul. So now the problem child has got us to believe this fight's actually happening. So now you've got our attention. So now you've got to back up the boast. It's not about, you're not playing tiddlywink. This is the only game you can't play.
Nelson praised Jake Paul's business savvy, calling him a genius for how he has marketed and monetized himself. However, he remains skeptical about Paul's standing as a top-tier fighter. According to Nelson, Paul is a strong domestic-level competitor, yet he's earning world champion-level money despite not following the traditional path of grinding in gyms or climbing the professional ranks. For Nelson, Paul's true strength lies in his promotional skills and online influence rather than in elite boxing mastery.
Taking the mic. Jake Paul has called out Anthony Joshua and claims, I will fucking beat Anthony Joshua's ass. You know what? I want this to happen just so Anthony Joshua could just absolutely decimate this man right here. So first he fights Tommy Fury, a legitimate professional boxer, and he loses. Then he fights an OAP and Mike Tyson and beats him. Obviously, he's nearly 60 years old. Then he goes to try and fight Canelo, which fell through, thankfully. Then he tried to fight Tank Davis, which again fell through. And now he wants to fight Anthony Joshua, a legit world-level heavyweight boxer. Anthony Joshua is someone that I've always looked up to and probably one of my favourite boxers to this day and age. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind Jake Paul here and there, but there's just things he does in the sport that I don't agree with at all. And fighting Anthony Joshua, listen, I'm all here for it, just to see him get knocked clean out. The fact that he thinks he can compete with these high-level boxers, even though he lost to Tommy Fury, is just laughable. But how long does it take for Anthony Joshua to knock Jake Paul out?
Jake Paul's ambitions go beyond boxing, as he has also expressed interest in facing MMA star Conor McGregor. Paul claims his boxing skills are improving while suggesting that McGregor's abilities are declining with age, a statement many view skeptically given McGregor's proven combat sports record. Paul's comments reflect both his confidence and his strategy of challenging high-profile athletes to boost his own reputation in the combat sports world. Fans are especially eager to see a potential fight between Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul, largely because they expect Joshua to dominate and humble Paul in the ring. Paul's history of calling out elite fighters and claiming superiority has made him one of the most polarizing figures in combat sports. Many believe his confidence in challenging Joshua is unrealistic given the massive gap in experience, skill, and weight class. Despite this, the idea of the matchup has generated huge interest, with fans eager to see Joshua potentially put an end to Paul's bold claims inside the ring.
Fight, wasn't that amazing?
Yeah. It's amazing they got paid so much money for that.
25 million and 40 million?
I think 20 and 40. Yeah, I think that's what I'd heard. You know, which I'm happy Mike got the money, and I'm happy that he didn't get hurt. That was my fear, that it was going to be a real fight and he was going to get hurt.
You've known him for a long time. I've known him for a long time.
I love that dude.
Me too.
And he was a larger than life figure in my childhood.
Truly, me
when
too.
I was a kid, when he was the champ, it was like people don't understand what a champ he was. Like he wasn't just the heavyweight champion of the world. He was an executioner.
Truly.
Every fight was just a matter of how long was it going to last.
Which fight it was that I went to go see a couple of fights, and I actually went to go see Julio Cesar Chavez fight, and that's when I.
According to many boxing analysts, Jake Paul has become boxing's ultimate cash machine, earning massive sums from every possible angle. In 2021 alone, he reportedly made over $40 million just from fighting. His pay-per-view events generate huge revenue, and he also promotes himself through Most Valuable Promotions MVP. On top of that, he monetizes his massive social media presence with endorsements and YouTube content. Paul has made a habit of calling out boxing legends, offering them huge paydays, and then trash-talking them after their fights. His bout against Tommy Fury ended in his first professional loss, yet he continues to position himself as one of the sport's biggest draws.
10 out of 10. I'm telling you, it's good for boxing because it's showing people you can fight someone that is well-known, credible, can fight, marketable, without a championship, and have that same effect early on in your career, and you can still get all the rewards anyway. So I think that they're showing guys, oh, hang on a minute, there's so much potential in boxing regardless of championships, and I think it's good because now people start taking more risks early on. These guys coming into the game are changing the landscape for the better, showcasing that if you have a business mind on, marketable, creative, content driven, obviously talented,